الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. The three girls in the back come here inshallah in the front. The four brothers come closer inshallah. Yalla bismillah. Bismillah. MashaAllah. That's good. That's good. Yes. I think the first table inshallah can accommodate everyone. Why do you hide from me? Yalla. No, come closer. Come closer, please. Please. Jazakumullah khair. Jazakumullah khair. Yalla. Yalla shabab. Yalla, guys who are outside, please join us inshallah. Khalas. Who wants to come, ahlan wa sahlan. Who doesn't come, khalas, it's in. So, girls, I know you are coming here. Some of you are coming to please their fathers. But yes, sometimes we make our parents happy. So I will attend the class. Okay, daddy, I'm okay with this class. But within yourself, you don't like it. This sheikh, is giving us a hard, طبعا. ما على كيفك باللازم عراقي. ما شاء الله طيب. But I want to tell you, you will attend the class, right? You'll attend the class anyway because your parents choose this for this. Choose for you to come here, right? And you want to be a dutiful kid to them, so that's why you accept it. ما على كيفك, okay? طيب, now, so you'll attend the class. Alhamdulillah. But now, what is the problem if we gain a reward? You'll attend the class anyway. طيب, I want to make it successful. I want to please my parents. And at the same time, I want to be rewarded. Where are we now? We are in a masjid. What happens when we study something related to the deen in the masjid? Let me count for you. This place that we are sitting in it, can we please inshallah throw this bottle? Plus, yeah. So we are here, as the Prophet mentioned, we are in a piece of Jannah now. This is now a piece of Jannah. The Prophet ﷺ says these circles of knowledge, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said about them that they are Riyadul Jannah. This is a piece and a garden from the gardens of Jannah. Can you imagine this? So the people who sit here, inshallah, they will sit in a good place in Jannah, inshallah. Are you with me? Did you stop at snacks? Khalas, alhamdulillah? Ta'i. What else, ya ikhwan? What did the Prophet Muhammad say about the people who are studying the masjid? غَشِيَتْهُمُ الرَّحْمَةِ. The mercy of Allah is descending upon us. What else? Allah will mention the people who are sitting in these circles. Allah will mention your name. So now, if you know what's your name? Yasin. So Yasin now, in one of the talks of Biden, so Biden says, there is a guy in Saxe called Yasin. This guy is a good guy. So Yasin is gonna, match and spread and share this recording with everyone. Why? Because Biden, the president, mentioned his name. So if your name is mentioned by Allah, the Creator, this is an honor or not? Is honor? Yeah, this is the highest honor. So Allah will mention your name if you have a good intention while you are sitting here. Type. Number 3. There is a space here beside you. And there is a space beside Yasin now. You know who sits here? Guess. The angels. The angels. The angels, al-malaika, they are here. This is what the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, وَحَفَّتْهُمُ الْمَلَائِكَةِ. So the angels are here. Right. I will add one more. So now the mercy of Allah is showering us. We are in a piece of garden. Allah will mention our name. I need my cell phone. Okay. Jazakallahu khairan. Allah will mention my name and Jazakallahu khairan. One thing more we add, Allah is proud of us in front of the angels. Allah is proud of us in front of the angels. Can you imagine all these? Can you imagine all these rewards? Girl, and can you imagine this reward? So now we need to be sincere. Again, we are here in any way, but we need to gain some reward. So I want you to have a good intention that we are here. Could you please stop? Yeah. So we need to make sure that we are here with a good intention to learn something very important. So what subject we are studying? Fiqh, right? What fiqh means? To understand the matters of our deen, to understand the halal, and the haram, the preferable from the non-preferable, the disliked from the liked, the haram from the halal, the wajib from the haram, the makruh and the permissible things that are related to our life, right? So whenever we do something, you always ask, Sheikh, is this halal or haram? Is this okay to do this or not? Now we are learning this. So we are learning about the deen. And this is one of the things that will bring us closer to Allah Azza wa Jal. We talked about al-ahkam al-shar'iyyah. We talked about the evidences and the sources of tashri'. And we said that the Quran is the source of tashri', and then the Sunnah of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, then the consensus, and then al-qiyas. So al-qiyas is what we are working on it now. Al-qiyas is what we are working on it now. Al-qiyas is the analogy. So there are things nowadays, they didn't have it in the past. So now how can we rule on them? How can we say a ruling? How can we say it's permissible or it's not permissible? So we make the analogy. We attach the subsidiary ruling to the original ruling because they have the same reasoning and the same result at the end. So we talked about this. We talked about a rukhsa. And a rukhsa is something that we want because now, if you want to say halal and haram, it's easy on your tongue to say. But we want to make the halal based on evidences, based on our ilm, our knowledge. So that's why we are learning al-fiqh. Because of what? Because we are trying to learn about al-halal and haram based on knowledge. Because everyone can say halal, haram. But no, we are not going to listen to anyone. In Egypt, I think you heard about this. From which animals we make a udhiyah? Which animals we use for a udhiyah? 3 animals. What are they? What are the animals that we use for a udhiyah? For the sacrifice in Eid? We use in general. The goat and lamb, they are called what? Sheep. Okay. What else? Cows. What else? Camels. Type. Someone came up and says, we can make udhiyah with a chicken. Yeah. So what do we say to him? Why? Because we have dalil that they should. So what I'm telling you that some people say things without strong dalils, without fake dalils, fake evidences. So that's why we are here to learn. No, we have evidences that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that adhiyah should be from the sheep, and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam make ages. Some people say nowadays, because while we are fasting, we shouldn't eat and drink, but smoking is okay. Some people say that. So we say to them, no, you have fake dalils and fake evidences, and we are here to learn based on what? Based on knowledge. Okay? Yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made al-halal and made al-haram. Al-halal is what is good for us. Al-haram, what is not good for us. But this is not the first reason. So, for example, eating pork. Girl, can we stop the phone and focus? Yeah. Right. Can we... After class, it's just 45 minutes and we'll be done. طيب. Eating from the pork. Girls, eating from the pork, Yasin, is halal or haram? طيب. If I ask you, why? لا لا, no, but I want to ask her to tell me why the pork is haram. Why? Okay. طيب, anybody has a reason? And the one in the back. Why pork is haram? Yes, so it eats the dirt stuff, and this is what she said. And what else? Here is the point. So pork is haram. Eating ham is haram. Eating bacon is haram. Yes, you can say that it's because of this and this. Some people say that the people who eat them, they badly affect their character, so they are not courageous. But all of this, it doesn't matter for us. What matters of us is what? What Quran says, what Sunnah says. So when I tell you why pork is haram, the first answer is what? Because Allah said it's haram. The Sunnah said it's haram. Now, this says that, there are some certain diseases for the people who eat the pork, right? They said this 20 years ago. Nowadays, this is no, it's healthy. They say that. So I should not suspend the ruling on what? On what? What outside the Sharia? What outside Islam? So eating pork is haram, period. Why? Because Allah said it's haram. Nowadays, if they say even they are healthy, we know that they are evil, that they are dirty, that they are bad, because Allah chose for us the good things, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not like us to do things. Type. Another question. If I ask you, why zakah is mandatory? Zakah. Can you tell me? Girl, can you tell me why zakah is mandatory? Well, here is the same problem, because we say, we give zakah because we need to make this social balance. I'm having money and this guy doesn't have money, so I want to give him, so it's fair now. I'm fasting, the same for fasting. Why do we fast? Because, it's healthy for the body, right? Because when I fast, the poor people, I feel the same pain of the poor people. Those are not the rulings. Those are some wisdoms. So why do we give zakah? We give zakah, why? I wanted to fix it. Why do we give zakah? Because Allah made it one of the pillars of Islam. طيب, zakah has wisdoms. Yeah, I'm not saying that you are wrong, but this is not the main reason. Why are we praying? Not because, when I pray, I'm going to be healthy. No, I'm praying because Allah commanded me. Allah commanded me to pray, right? So I pray because of this. Now, they find out that praying is good for your time management because you pray 5 times a day. Prayer is good for you, when you talk to Allah Azza wa Jal, because you need to get a break from the birds in your body. I fast because I should be away from food because it's going to be healthy for the body. That's good. But this is not the main reason for practicing the deen. Okay? Last deal. Yeah. طيب. This is the fiqh. And then we talked about something very important, which now we are trying to understand. Again, we have a lot of contemporary issues. The ayat of the Quran. Can anybody add ayat from the Quran? Can anybody add hadith from the Prophet? No. But can anybody say, the fiqh ruling and the contemporary issues that Muslims are facing now, they end here? We cannot add more issues, to our deen that are related to the haram and halal. We can't. Every day something comes up. Sometimes people ask about the games. Are these games halal or haram? Some people, they ask about credit cards. Did we have credit cards in the past? We didn't have. Some people ask about, the mercy killing. They give a person an injection to let him die. Buying, dogs and just, keeping them inside the houses. We didn't have that much proper like what we have it in the past. People, using a specific type of, medicine that has, pork in it. Is it allowed or not? People now, which is our topic today, people want to learn. So now, can we have loans or not? So all these are contemporary issues, modern issues that they didn't have it in the past. And every day we have. What happened during Corona and the vaccine? There was a very famous question that one of the vaccines has some impurity because it has, some dead ingredients of animals in it. Some ingredients of the dead animals in it. Are we allowed to do the vaccine or not? Did we have something like this during the Sahaba or the previous generations? We didn't have this. And the same for buying houses. We need to buy houses now. Is it okay to buy houses or not? And this is through riba. We have banks now. So can we put our money in the saving account or checking accounts? We have credit cards that sometimes we use them. A lot of things come up. We need to have insurance on our cars. We need to have insurance on our health because if we make a visit, it's a problem. We cannot just afford it. A lot of things come up every day. And we are trying to say, and we always say that Islam matches with every time and with every age and with every issue that comes up. So that's why we need to make sure that we understand, so we will say things based on knowledge. Right. We talked about the credit cards. What happens, Yasin, in the credit cards? What happens in it? What happens in it? What is it about? Yes. So now what happens that you borrow money? And what happens when you borrow money? If you do not pay it on time, what happens? What's your name? Hannah. So what happens, ya Hannah, if you do not pay off the money on time? Extra amount. The problem is, imagine, if you take like $200, they will put a couple of dollars, right? But they drag you and they attract you to gain a lot of money and borrow a lot of money, and then the interest, to some people the interest reaches to what? To even more than the money itself, more than the loan itself. Okay? So now, whether the loan and the interest of the loan is big or small, we see what, Yasin? Yasin, word it properly, Yasin. We are in a class. Yeah, it's good, alhamdulillah. Bring something. Bring something. If you have a thobe or something outside, bring it. You are okay? Do you need, go to the back and just, raise the AC. تلعب Muhammad to do this. Okay, so we said in the credit card that it's a loan. So what shall the Muslim do with the loan? Pay back. But first of all, initially, what shall we do? What shall we do concerning loans? To avoid it. Why? Why should we avoid loan? The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, what happened? What happened with the Prophet sallallahu that he didn't like to pray Salatul Janazah on the people who are under loan. So this is under loan, the people who borrowed money. Girls, Wallahi, and imagine your dad is in my situation, giving a class or talking to you, and you are just exchanging, the cheap drink this month from 7-Eleven. Okay. From McDonald's, it's worse. It's bad. Type. So the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, guys, listen. So the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam didn't pray Salatul Janazah, avoided to pray Salatul Janazah on the people who were under debt. To the extent that sometimes the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, if you don't like to listen to my class, you can go out. Okay. Don't worry, he will come inshallah. So the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam didn't pray Salatul Janazah on the people who were in debt. To the extent that one Sahabi, he asked, is there a loan, that he should pay off? So one of the Sahaba says, Ya Rasulullah, it's like $3 or whatever, or $30, something equal to this. So the Prophet Muhammad says, I will not pray. One of the Sahaba says, Ya Rasulullah, it is ummi. I will pay off this loan. So here the Prophet ﷺ prays Salatul Janazah when the man guaranteed and said that he will pay off the loan. And what happened after that? The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ prays Salatul Janazah. The matter is done now. The next day, the Prophet Muhammad saw the man who says, I will pay off the loan. And the Prophet said to him, what? Did you pay the loan off or not? When he paid it off, the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, in the second day he asked him, and the Prophet ﷺ felt comfortable after that. So the point here, we should avoid taking loans. But you remember the credit card? What did I talk about it? What did I mention about it? I mentioned that sometimes it's really important to build a history. So now, number one, the guy who's not here. Okay, so are you with us? Are you with us? You are somewhere else. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam told us to avoid getting loans, borrowing money. And the Prophet said, who is the one who will have the highest grade in Jannah? Shaheed, right? The martyrs. What happened to the martyr? He will not enter Jannah till his family pays off the loan. So that's why if there is no need, do not be indulged in riba. So that's why the credit card is originally haram, because it's a loan with interest, right? The one who does not have stability in his financing, the one who does not have a good income, and he wants to start a credit card, what shall we tell him? To start or not? No. Why? That's it. It's an interest, yes. So now, because he's liable to pay interest, right? The one who's okay and he has a good income. So this one, he's permitted and he has the rukhsa. What did we say about the rukhsa? The rukhsa is, the rukhsa, the concession. How did we define the concession? What is exceptionally allowed, but the general ruling is still there. The general ruling is still there. So still borrowing money through the bank is haram, but no, it is not recommended, but it's permissible, because we said what? The original ruling is what? Halal or haram? Borrowing money with interest. Haram. But it is permitted for a reason. Now I want to buy a house. Now I want to build a history. So I will borrow if I know that I have a good income and I will not fall in the trap of interest and riba. Okay? So this is how we look at it. I'm going to elaborate the word riba, because we hear the word riba. Shall we focus? So I want to elaborate the word riba, because what did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say about Allah. What did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say about those who deal with riba? Something came in the Quran. What is the punishment? I need somebody else. What is the punishment that came in the Quran about those who deal with riba? The one in the back. What is the punishment? Riba is haram, we say this, right? Right? Can you tell me what came in the Quran about riba? This is the worst punishment. Who memorized Surah Al-Baqarah? Nobody memorized Surah Al-Baqarah? فأذنوا بحرب من الله ورسوله. The one who deals with riba is like waging a war against Allah. Who could wage a war against Allah? Nobody. What we are doing. When we deal with riba, we are fighting with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Did you see anything in the Quran worse than this? Huh? Can we focus? Did we see anything worse than this? So this is the worst. This is the worst punishment. This is the worst punishment that came in the Quran for those who deal with riba. And subhanAllah, there are things came in the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, even in the grave. What happened in the grave? They just they swim. This is what the Prophet says. The people of deal with riba, they swim in rivers of blood. Imagine the person swims in a river full of blood. So there is a severe punishment, and there are a lot about those people, and Allah prepared for them a severe punishment. Now, we need to understand what does the word riba. So riba means increase. So it means increase. Okay? So increase. Okay? So a riba means increase. And when we define a riba, we should divide it into two ones. Riba al-fadl and nasi'a. So those are the two kinds of riba. Nice. So we have riba and nasi'a and riba. All of them are riba. Right. We can have also another name. This is what we call this loan, and this is what we call sales loan. So the one related to the debts and the one related to the sales. Those are definitions. Now, riba means as yet increase, literally this one. And when we talk about it, we should divide it into two types. Riba al-fadl. And we have riba and nasi'a. Riba al-fadl and riba nasi'a. They have another name, the riba of sales and the riba of bids. The riba of sales and the riba of bids. And they explain what we did. So now, this is one of the worst. One of the worst and severe sins that the person can do. And when we talk about riba, which is the worst punishment in the Quran, in Surah Al-Baqarah, it's like a fight between us and Allah Azza wa Jal. When we talk about riba, we should divide it into two: riba al-fadl and riba al-nasi'a. What? Riba al-fadl related to the debts. Riba al-nasi'a, and ask me. I can never answer. So riba al-fadl and riba al-nasi'a. Riba al-fadl, riba al-nasi'a related to what? And see, related to what? To the debts. What are the debts? The due, the loans. Okay? So related to loans. And this one related to what? To sales transactions. I don't hear this. Okay. So riba and nasi'a, which is the riba of debts. And this is what we all do. I will take from Hannah, Hannah, give me $100. I'll give you $100. And I'll take it from you the next month. The next month came, and Hannah said, give me $100. So, pay them in September. I'll pay them. So what did I do now? I dealt with what? The debt. the loan. I'm going to write the word loan. So I'm increasing in the loan now. The loan is already how, you know how much you see? 100. But now, when I want to give what? 100. This 120 is what? Is interest. But this is, there is a difference. What do you want? What do you want? So this is different from al-bay' wal-taqsid. Then Hannah is selling to me this Apple Watch and say, kid, take it for $50 now cash. He wants to me. Yusuf is telling me that he wants to sell me his, fluffy bird for $20. But share cash. Pay cash and pay. I don't have the Yusuf now. Sheikh, I will give you, because you don't have to know her. Yes, I'll give you, my hair for, installments. Every month you pay $5, but I will not make it 20. I will make it 30. Is this okay or not? Is this okay or not, guys? This is very well. There is no problem. I give you the choice from the very beginning to buy this cash or installment. This is $20, take it right now. Or $50 or $40 and pay it in installments. Is this okay or not? This is okay. As long as we are selling something and we are giving the choice in the beginning whether to have it right away for this specific money or to buy it for installments and we increase the price, there is no problem. This is the way of installment, selling, there is no problem in this way for this. So البيع والتقسيط and installments. So, you talk me to start over, and I'm just trying to read it as simple as possible. I have no idea what my, those who are even younger than the ages of my kids, so that's why I want to read it as simple. We, in the nice days, we don't have such type of knowledge. All what you see around most of the are just, people who talk and talk and talk, but to learn academic knowledge, not that much. That's why we focus on that. That's why we want you to be our future imams and scholars and high managers. Okay? So now, there are three things now. Okay? Yusuf, focus on it. There is riba and nasiya, which is related to what? Related to the debts. As I give an example, so it's for loans. When I buy, when Hannah lent me $100 and when it's fine, I tell her I don't have money. She told me I will give you another 1 month, but return it 100. This is riba or riba nasiya because it is related to the debts because of the delay. And then we have riba on top, as that explained. But in the middle, I explained al-bay' wal-taqsid. It is still installment selling, which means that this is a bottle of water for $1 now if you have it. Or if you pay it in, in a couple of months, a couple of days, you will pay $2. That's fine. As long as I have the choice from the beginning, I can buy it now cash, or I can choose to buy it later in monthly payments. There is no problem. There is a difference between this one and the loan. Hannah, give me a loan, give me $100, and now she will look at how much? 120. So now this is how. This is called riba what? Riba nasiya. Now, can you say it? And nasiya. Nasiya means what? Delay. Because of the delay, what happened? And now took an advantage. And now she paid, I pay for her, there is no, this is the original type of riba. This is haram 100%. What happens in the banks? What's the name? Tara now went to Bank of America. Give me a loan, $1,000 now. I need it to buy a car or to buy whatever. Yeah, Tara, take $1,000. Now, Tara will return this back after 6 months. You think that they will make her pay $1,000? No, 1,500. So, is this transaction halal or haram? Why? Because this is riba what? And we need to know. We are here not to this is what halal or haram. Because this is riba what? And the see at the delay. The what happens here is related to what? Money, this and those. Money, versus money. So now you give money to me, and you take it more. Okay? And you have a question? What? What are you doing? Tara asked a wonderful question. Now, I need to pay to work in the bank. You are facilitating. But dealing in the research, dealing in something else, and that quality assurance, something that is not related to loans, some stuff. But dealing with riba as a teller, as a manager, dealing with it every day, or dealing with it. No. Let us ask you a very question for all of you. Here, this is the only job that they have. Now, the problem with this, if I earn the haram, what happens? Do you think that I have happiness in the house? Do you think that I have the right to do this? Do you think that I have that? Look at what pleases Allah and you. No one dies what they don't from hunger. But but this is haram. Because the problem is not that that you are committing a sin. When we commit the sin, what happens? This will badly affect us. This will badly because white people suffer from depression, suffer from anxiety, suffer from disasters, suffer from sickness. One of the reasons that we used to live Allah as a judge. So Tara, I completely can make it. It's not true that we cannot find but suppose you like suppose in Mecca, and there is no other way, and you have a family, and you are taking care of them, and if you do not have a job, they will kick you out from the house. You will not be able to pay up the rent. There is, in the hospital, and you cannot pay for your bills. Out. You hear. And in emergency, the rule says what? If we are about to die, are we allowed to drink from our cup and eat from the fork? Yes. But, this is not please, do not say, Chef, this is enough, this is enough. Did you search a lot? No. Search. Even the ruler salary, accept because Allah will give you. What do you want? Let us say 50 or 40. But here's the point here. And I talked about one thing, which is riba now here, imagine riba here. So Hannah talked about what? Hereafter. As we mentioned, what happens in the grave? There is a punishment in the grave. And there they will be suffering, you will be suffering when you stand in front of Allah. But But I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about something else. I will have 50K here and 70K there. But I may have a car accident. I may go to the doctors. I may do a lot of things that will cost me here a lot of money. But don't think that the money that is taken from Haram will have barakah. Look at it. Because 70 is more than 50, right? But do you think that with the 70 will be okay? What did we say about the Quran? فَأَذَنُوا بِحَرْبٍ مِنَ اللَّهِ وَرَسُولِهِ. We are waging a war. Do you think that the one who wages a war against Allah will be in happiness? Here's the point. So it's not only in the dunya, it's not only the right, it's not only the punishment, the great, no, it's also in the hereafter. He will يمحق الله الربا. So Allah says, يمحق الله الربا ويربي الصدقات. When you even if you don't have money from the 50,000 and you give sadaqah, Allah will give you barakah. Allah will make you feel that this money is more than sufficient for you. But ويمحق الله Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will erase the riba. The people who suffer and the people who do evil are always in trouble.
So when you said with a lot of help, you said you take $1,000, 600, 1,500. If this happened, what would you do with this situation?
You shouldn't have started. You should initiate it. You should have you shouldn't go to the loans except the emergencies. And the emergencies is not like what I said, oh, this is the only job. This is the only place to earn money. Did I want the loan to that happen? If it's an emergency and without this money you will be in trouble, you will suffer. Your life is threatened. So here we say that this is permissible for a reason. This is a position. Why? Because now we have a very, very strong reason to save our lives. Okay? Someone said, I will kill you if you do not follow the law. You do this. Now, so initially, you should listen.
So what if I'm like a Christian or someone afflicted from bitterness or deviant towards continue and then allow for me to work in the bank?
I'll answer this question. If you are helping,
No, but if I'm a Christian or
if you are helping directly, you shouldn't do it. Directly means that without you, you will not do the work. If you are an electrician or a technician or IT person who fixes all the way to them and has to. So with you, we will work with you. So now it's direct or indirect. Direct.
What if you don't know? Like, what if they like? It's like sometimes they try to like hide it from you. Like, they don't tell you about it before, and then they just.
No. Okay. So this is what we read. Now this is the wonder course. Tara started her job in Uyus. Who's studying accounting? Thank you. So what's your name? Iman started the job, as Matthew said, and then Iman attended our class, and she learned that helping people live as Islam and working in the events Islam is not helping people. People highly compare this to the what happens, come to an Islamic bank, or if you go to an Islamic bank. For example, there is an Islamic bank, and as it says, I found a job there, they told me everything is halal, but when I went there, then everything is haram. And this is my job. If you stop the job, I cannot go for it. Right? If you stop the job because then I do not put you into the gym. So now, if I'm in the job listen to this guys. A lot of things that we need to understand and differentiate between. So now, if I'm in the job and I cannot leave the work because I have some responsibilities, what happens is I stay in the job, but I search, I seriously, imagine, search for another job. Once I say, and once I found another job, even with a little salary, you can imagine. See? So if you are in the job, if I did everything for you, and now you are in the job, and you found out that this you don't like it, so but you don't have a job right away, and you have burden. If you are financial aid, you have to use it right away. But if you are not okay, so now we say to you, yeah, and search, take our ways, and search, talk to everyone, and leave them a job. Even if you find a job that is not that high class as this one, then accept it and leave it. Okay? See? That is.
Take a loan, and you know what the interest is going to be, and then you're prepared to pay the interest, but you're not prepared to pay the actual one before the interest happens.
It's haram. Even with it, it's haram. We see. And taking the river, like for example, there is another side. So I'm talking about the loan, right? This is one side of the coin. What's the other side? If you invest with the bank, if you put your money in the savings account, what's your name? Yes. Mariam. Mariam puts her money here. Now, Mariam, what's going on? Just get them with this. Just get them with this. So now, Germany. Mariam put in her saving account $1. What will happen, Hannah? They will give it back to her within 5 months, 1,000 and nothing. So in this halal problem, haram. But in this case, what happened to Maryam? She didn't pay extra. And what? She took, right? She took extra. Because what we talked about now is that the first case of Hannah, that I will pay for her extra. So I'm losing, right? In this time you are earning. But what does she earn then? It comes as what? Riba, interest, right? But now, let's look. Right. تعالي احكي لنا. You come and sit with this. Okay, guys, listen to it. So now we have, it's still the same concept. But one time you earn, and then one time you lose. Both of them are wrong. But in case of you lose, like you pay extra cost, you have to pay this. But in case that Mariam got extra money, what will happen? Sheikh, here is the point. This is a lot of people who say this. Sheikh, this money I can give it to the poor. Let me have a lot of savings and put money in my savings. I will not use it. I will give it to the poor. This and this money is what? Because this money of riba is what? It's khabith. Khabith means evil. It's an evil money. It's an evil money. So now, number one, you shouldn't take this money at all. You shouldn't keep this money at all. This money should be regular. But do not start also this. Do not say, oh, no. I will put it and this money I will take it. It's still a sin, it's still a regular. What's your question? What is this? Yes, you. Yes. You need to answer this. Here is the point now. We cannot say, oh, give ourselves justifications. The lower salary, no, we need to to smoke and make the conditions. You cannot be figurative. Otherwise, you are not surviving. So now it's about someone who's saying, you know, I'm sleeping. I'm not good. So sleeping is a reason, right? Sleeping is a reason, but isn't a justification for something, right? Yeah. So now, if I get 50K, is it better than nothing or not? 50K is gonna suffice me. It's gonna give me what I want. It's gonna at least it's better than nothing. So give the most is make a question. Yeah. Yeah. The beer, but yeah, the beer. You should make some sacrifice. You cannot just know I took it for granted. I love Allah, and I tell you that this is. You know, I don't know why you. Give it to me. And you know also know. It seems that they force you to come to attend this class. Please, just focus for a couple of days. The angels are here. We are learning something. And I'm driving the phone with this here. Just share with me please give me some good, some halal, some tips. Send me as a I don't know.
Like these are the main things now. So like with working at a job like support systems, we also because you're yeah, and then you like work on maybe if you work at like a restaurant that like sold your work or something.
Not an issue, yeah. I would like to talk about this. Let us focus on this. Because I know we talk about this. But you, I want to think this. I want to think this. Nothing is worth everything. So many words. Saying, you know, pork is not the same level of haram, because this is what Allah says what فَأْذَنُوا حَرْبٍ مِنَ اللَّهِ. It's a war against Allah. So anything else, even it's haram, but it's this. Okay? So now, we talked about what? Riba. Number one is riba what? And the seal, which is the delay, which is related to what? To the loan, as I said, honey, give me, Anna, give me what? Give me what? $100, and she got it, then she got 120. And she said, but there is something else. And what is it? Hannah told me, I will return it back to you, but you should give it to me what? 120. But if I get a loan from honey, Tara, Iman, man, focus. So if Tara give me one, Anna give me 100, or Mazin give me 100. He didn't stipulate in it. He told me, Sheikh, I told him, Mazin, so the Mazin give me 100. And it's the time to pay him off. And I do that. I sit in the Mazin. But Mazin was a good person. This is my Sheikh, well, my Sheikh, so, inshallah, pay some couple. And he didn't say what? Interest at all. So when I returned the money, I give Tara. Ya Tara, ya Mazin, I will give you. Or when I return the money to him, I give him 100. I give him 130. So this is how why it's a gift, and to tell you something, this is what the Prophet with the Jews used to borrow money from them, and he used to pay them extra. But it is to be late. You make it a condition. If they make it a condition, it's haram. But if I voluntarily did this, then it is what? So actually, it's like this. And then the regime, they don't fix it. They don't fix it. They don't fix it. Fine. No worries at all. So thank you, honey. I returned the money to her after a couple of months. They don't fix on them. This is from the down. But if this is share, then now you get 100, they what? 120. This money that we have to that. Right. So now, this is riba and nasiya. And then we have riba al-fadl. What riba al-fadl? So I have this, I have gold. Let us gold. And I have gold and I have gold. Hana. Take the gold, this will gold, and give me your gold. And that's it. This is called riba al-fadl. But it's not haram in everything. A cell phone with a cell phone, that's fine. But gold with gold is not. A pen, versus a pen, that's fine. But gold with gold, no. There are six types of goods that riba is haram with. It's called riba al-fadl. How did it happen in the past? In the past, because they were in the desert. So what is the most famous food that we used to have? Most food. Dates. They have a lot of dates. So for the dates, are the dates the same time? Some days are good, some days are bad. So they used to say what? Give me give me from your good days, give me 1 pound. And I will give you from the bad days that they have 2 pounds. Yeah, we used to do this because that one is good and this one is bad. So we used to sell how much days? 2 pounds with what? So this is how. So it's 6 items, 6 goods only. The riba is, to exchange, it should be one. It should be the same amount. If you want to sell dates, 1 pound, 1 pound. If this wouldn't, it doesn't matter. Gold, it should be the same gold. Silver, the same. Wheat, salt, full barley, those are the 6. What do you tell me the reason why. Yeah, no, like, the map after page 1. What is this? The hell of what I see. I can't find it. I'm hoping I can see it. But that's all, inshallah. So now, we talk about the riba.